Welcome to The Explainer. If you are preparing for the Cambridge Information Technology 9626 exams, or honestly, even looking at parallels in syllabuses like 0417, 0478, 2210, or 9618, you already know exactly how demanding the curriculum is. But here is a massive secret, straight from the grading room. The difference between a B and an A star often comes down to mastering one specific area. Topic 10.1, Performing Searches and Queries. Today, we are deploying what I call the alchemist strategy. We are going to transform your basic, raw knowledge into gold standard evaluation using insider knowledge pulled directly from principal examiner reports. I see two types of students all the time when grading these papers. First, there's Alex. Alex overloads every single answer with raw facts and definitions, but provides zero actual analysis. Then there's Sam. Sam rushes, completely misses the specific command word requirements, and leaves huge points on the table. We are going to fix both of those approaches today.
Okay, let's dive into this. There is a massive, unmistakable difference between the B grade approach, which is basically our friend Alex, and the A-star grade approach. It's incredibly common for students to try and just memorize raw facts. They cram their heads full of textbook definitions, which inevitably leads to superficial, generic answers on the actual paper. They might know what the definition of a nested query is, but when faced with a complex database scenario, they completely freeze up and can't apply it. A-star candidates do something fundamentally different. They exhibit a connected conceptual understanding. They don't just know the definitions, they know exactly how these query concepts interact with one another, how to decode the command words, and how to apply them to completely unfamiliar, highly specific scenarios. They are analytical, not just descriptive.
To get you out of that B grade rut and up to that A-star level, here is our roadmap for today. 1. Core principles. 2. The procedural framework. 3. Examiner traps. And 4. Top-tier execution. This structure is going to serve as your personal blueprint for exam success.
Let's start right at the foundation with Section 1, Core Principles. Mastering this exam requires us to first truly understand the theoretical architecture of searching and queries before we even look at a database. But before we continue, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now. Now, topic 10.1 is absolutely vast. It's not just basic filtering. It encompasses simple and complex queries, static and dynamic parameters, all the way up to advanced nested queries. You need to understand how they fundamentally operate and how they differ from one another. Let's break it down real quick. A simple query might just search for all customers located in London. Easy, right? But a complex query adds Boolean conditions, like customers in London who also spent over $100 and have an active membership. Then you have to consider parameters. A static query runs the exact same search criteria every single time you hit execute. But a dynamic parameter query, that's interactive. It actually stops the execution and prompts the user for input right before it runs, making it vastly more adaptable for end users. And then there's the heavyweight, the nested query. This is where you use the result of one search as the starting criteria for an entirely different search. It's a query within a query. Top-performing students understand these not as isolated vocabulary terms, but as a deeply connected toolkit ready to be deployed. And why do you need that connected toolkit? Because the Cambridge exam targets distinct cognitive domains through their assessment objectives. Yes, you need knowledge and understanding. That's your baseline. But far more crucially, you need to apply that knowledge to unfamiliar contexts, and you need to execute rigorous analysis of data. These cognitive domains require you to build logical, structured reasoning. Examiners frequently note in their reports that candidates who can reference cross-topic connections achieve significantly higher marks. What does that mean? It means linking a complex query back to the underlying data types or explaining how a nested query relies on the specific relational database structure. You have to connect the dots.
Which brings us to Section 2, the procedural framework. Answering an exam question isn't just about magically arriving at the final output, it's about the systematic processing you use to get there. To get those top marks, you need a standardized, bulletproof sequence. Let's walk through this 5-step deconstruct, solve, and evaluate sequence. This is your survival guide. Step 1, identify the given information in the text or tables. What is the scenario actually telling you? Step 2, extract that data and select the right analytical framework. Are you using a static parameter or a nested query here based on what the user needs? Step 3, execute the analysis using clear, undeniable notation. Step 4, verify your results. Do these results actually make logical sense in the real-world context of the question? And Step 5, present the final information in the appropriate format. Methodically following this sequence builds a structured, high-scoring response that examiners absolutely love to read.
This step-by-step approach ties directly into a massive concept you cannot afford to ignore: the method mark strategy. Cambridge examiners explicitly award marks for your process. This is where students like Sam, who rush to the finish line, lose all their points. Even if your final query result is slightly off due to a minor syntax error, if your working is clear and you've used the correct terminology to describe your steps, you can still pick up the vast majority of the marks. Show your work, explain your logic, and use the technical vocabulary. Stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE, to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2 to 3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to at acetheexams_IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions.
Furthermore, once you have done